So I wanted to share with you guys why I even thought this whole thing was worthwhile. Number one, you'll never go to fetch your handy dandy can of WD-40 that still has half or even worse, 3/4 or it's full of WD-40, but all the pressure has released, rendering the can useless. Number two, I can go and buy a gallon of charcoal lighter fluid on Amazon right now for $25 for 2 64-ounce bottles of it, which comes out to a gallon. I can also buy a gallon of mineral spirits for $18, and I can buy a quart of this, which this is a quart, for $5 of 10 weight 30 oil. If I mix all of those together, I yield 288 fluid ounces of my concoction of WD-40. If I go to the store and buy this 12 fluid ounce can of aerosol WD-40, I will spend $10 on it. If you divide 10 by 12, you come out to about 83 cents per fluid ounce. If you divided 50, which is what we spent on our gallons of materials to yield 288 fluid ounces of WD-40, if you divide 50 by 288, that comes out to about 17 cents per fluid ounce. But wait, you say, you can buy WD-40 in a gallon pre-made form. You're right. And that'll run you about 35 bucks for 128 fluid ounces in a gallon. So 35 divided by 128 will bring you to about 27 cents per gallon, which is pretty good. It's 10 cents more than our homebrew concoction, but 10 cents more per fluid ounce when the total yield is 288 fluid ounces is a lot of cents. In fact, that is 2,880 cents more, or some people call that 28 bucks and 80 cents, which is nearly twice as expensive as our homebrew concoction to buy it in the bulk form of the gallon WD-40. But wait, you yell again through your computer screen. It's so convenient to have the WD-40 in the aerosol can. I know, we're going to aerosolize our homebrew WD-40, which brings us to our word of the day, aerosolize, to convert into an aerosol. I'm gonna show you guys how in a little bit. So our homebrew WD-40 calls for 4 parts charcoal lighter fluid, petroleum based, 4 parts mineral spirits, or you could use paint thinner, to 1 part 30 weight oil. So we're gonna add our charcoal. I guess we'll do it the old fashioned way through the nozzle. We're gonna add 400 milliliters. We're not gonna do it the old fashioned way. Wow, that's tough to get off. 400 milliliters of charcoal lighter fluid, petroleum based. Almost there. Looks good. 400 milliliters of mineral spirits, which will bring us to a total of 800 milliliters. Looks good to me. To 1 part 30 weight oil, which will be 100 milliliters. Which will bring us to a total of 900 milliliters. Which is just about 32 fluid ounces. And now we're gonna get something to mix it all up with. We'll use a paint stick. This is a homogeneous mixture, which just means it looks uniform throughout, and I could let this sit indefinitely and it's not gonna separate out into different density layers, which is convenient. And we're done. This is your homebrew WD-40, but you're not done if you wanna put it in an aerosol sprayer. So what I'm gonna do is fill up this Sure Shot sprayer with a funnel. This is good for 32 fluid ounces, which is why I made a batch of 32 ounces. Gonna fill it up. I'm gonna save a little bit. I'll show you why here in a second. Put our cap back on. Pop this little rubber nipple off, and you'll see a Schrader valve. We're gonna put 80 to 100 pounds of air pressure in this. There is indeed air in there. And we should have sprayer. One final touch, because I've got a few cans of these Sure Shot sprayers. WD, that's a 3, 4D. Then we're gonna hit print. And then it's gonna spit it out. Right there. We're gonna cut it. Boom. WD-40. And we're gonna aim right for the middle. Boom. WD-40. And now let's do some comparison with our homebrew versus the real deal. For our test, I'm going to be using one of these classic oil cans. Well, this will just help us to be a little more precise in our application rather than just spraying it everywhere, which is why I saved a little bit of our homebrew. All right, we've got our filled up. Got that, and we got this. And we're just gonna do the most basic of tests. We're gonna see how the fluid runs. You can see how thin that is, how it just starts spreading. Let me put some right there. Just like, hopefully, our WD-40 will look. It's really thin. I got a little drip right here. And it spreads just like that. And it even smells really similar. Here's what I think I understand about WD-40. So you have your three, at least in our homebrew, you have our 3 petroleum distillates. You have the oil, you have the lighter fluid, and you have the mineral spirits. The lighter fluid is the least viscous of all of those. That means it can travel into places that thicker materials couldn't travel into. When you mix that with the motor oil, the motor oil uses that low viscosity of the lighter fluid as a means to get into places that otherwise it would not be able to get into. For example, the bolts or the threads of a bolt. So eventually that lighter fluid will evaporate, but the oil won't evaporate. Thus, the oil will prevent future corrosion and lubricate. Or if you spray it on an engine, like in the cylinders of an engine, water doesn't mix with oil, so it basically displaces the water. That's what WD stands for in WD-40, water displacement. So there's my brief lesson that is probably misunderstood about WD-40. So there you have it, guys, homemade WD-40. I use this product for lots of stuff, whether it's keeping water out of an engine that I'm building or spraying it over a bunch of steel that I have that I keep outside under a tarp. And honestly, the Sure Shot sprayer that I used in this video shines in that application because you can just cover an insane amount of surface area very fast within a few seconds compared to the aerosol can. And then as well as all the home applications like squeaky door hinges, and I also use it for my drill press, my drill press whenever I need to keep my drill bits cool, that sort of thing. So if you do try to make this, let me hear about your successes, your failures. Let me hear all your skepticism, all the haters out there. I want to hear it all. Thanks for your time and hope this was helpful. If it was, Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.